Welcome to the Deadly Addictions channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about Nosferatu 2024. Alright, first off, I'm not a fan of the movie. And granted, it's a quick, first time. It's not one of those movies where I could actually watch it several times unless I go look for it in a shitty copy type thing. But I'm not a fan of this movie. As a matter of fact, talking about it, getting ready to do it, I started getting angry again at, I don't know, maybe the premise of this movie just doesn't match up with my expectations. It could be one of those things. I would say off the bat, there's going to be, a split audience, in my opinion, and critics will probably, give it some praise here and there. But man, I am not a fan of this movie, and I was kind of disappointed. I was kind of expecting to be wowed and impressed. I'm a fan of the original 1922 silent movie for what it is and for what it inspired, for what came after. Give it the respect. And all these plays of Bram Stoker's Dracula, and some were great throughout the years, and there's stories to tell here and there. I even love Salem's Lot. I did a podcast on the Voyage of the Demeter, and I keep getting disappointed, and this movie really disappointed me, and it's really intriguing because afterwards, I didn't catch anybody's name. I didn't recognize anybody who was going to be in it, nothing. I really watched the trailer. I didn't even watch the trailer. I really saw thumbnails here and there. And when I went to do this podcast, I said, oh my God, this is going to sound weird because I fucking hate the lead actress. And as the leading man type thing goes, I liked it at first. Nicholas Hoult, I think his name is. I was a little thrown off by the decisions that were made in this movie. One of them being Nicholas Hoult. When you portray according to, Wiki or whatever, a sincere, blah, 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 gentleman. And there's a scene really short in the movie where it goes to him drinking and smoking a cigar. And my first impression was there two directors on this? And I get you're trying to portray a, more faithful adaptation. And again, I said this on my Gladiator 2 review. I'm not gonna give a fuck about so much historical accuracy. If it was this way in the books, or if this is what the meaning was supposed to be. I'm one of those, when a writer puts out something or a movie comes out, it's really what the audience views it as. It's not more like, oh, well, this is what the director intended, whatever. Getting to the point of this, Nicholas Hoult looks like he's two different people at times, and it really drew me out of the movie. And let's not say about the main actress, because I didn't know who the fuck she was. I've never seen her before. A part of me wants to say, give her credit for what she did, and, what's, expected of a new actress who I've never seen before. And then I read that it's fucking Johnny Depp's daughter. Now, look, I don't know about nepotism and all that shit. Maybe she earned her ranks. I was not fucking impressed. As a matter of fact, I was kind of off-put by this whole movie. Now, when William Dafoe comes into the movie, I smile. I love him. He's great in the role. And what is it? I think it's the fucking Kick-Ass guys in here, right? Aaron Taylor Johnson, who I just did a Craven interview podcast on, and he's fairly serviceable. Because he seems like a character that's written a certain way and doesn't really detract from the purpose of him in the movie and what his role is, that type thing. I will say that his wife, I don't know who the fuck, I think it's Emma Corrin. Yeah, I think, and she should have been the lead. It's actually what occurred to me while I was watching the movie. The wife of Hedrick, whatever the fuck his name is, Aaron Taylor Johnson, who has a significant type role in the movie for what it is. And again, as the movie as a whole, I'm not a fan of, so I'll try to give some props here and there and not just shit on the fucking movie. But Emma Corrin was great in the role. I believed her. And the vampire. So, all right. I just can't fucking deal with it. And I'm not even one iota of a deep dive into this yet. But you have no connection in this movie to what they're trying to tell you and show you. Show, don't tell. There's no massive connection for me with the plot of this movie and the outcome of this movie. And was it Bill Skarsgård as a fucking vampire? It was work. You could have got anybody. I don't feel any true, like connection at all. And maybe it's also a combination of how the movie was made, editors, what we're going for. We trying to give some of the visual inspiration from the silent movie and how they, conveyed their premise. Because you got to imagine 1922 silent movie about a vampire, and how do you convey that? All of it is huge expressions on the people's faces, and you got to read everything. Fine, but I'm going into this as a viewer, and Happy New Year 2025, right? And I was so fucking disappointed. The vampire, the fucking setup, the payoff at the end. I didn't like much of anything to do with this movie. And I started off really happy to see Nicholas Hoult as that main actor. He seemed to fit what I envisioned what was going to be. But again, like I said, once you start, even if he's trying to show a different side of him, trying to smooth it up and play, because he wants to have money and be, I get it. And it just didn't work for me. And maybe it has to do with director's input. He's a great actor in that sense. It's like watching the fucking Phantom Menace and shit and knowing that, he shouldn't have fucking directed those movies. And all right, so I'm getting a little out of place here. Anyway, not happy with the cast, except for the exception of William Dafoe and Emma Corrin, it seems. Don't know why the fuck. It's just weird that I didn't know why this lead actress was put in the role. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, gives it 100% effort, and maybe that's what they liked. And then now I look and I see it's Johnny Depp's daughter, and she's been in some other things. I didn't do a deep dive. But historical accuracy, whatever the meaning and intention was, to me was not conveyed in this movie. And why the fuck does the vampire have a fucking mustache? I don't give a shit about original intentions in the book or nothing. It just doesn't sit well with me. There's some things you don't do. Gladiator 2, I don't care if it was historically accurate, that they flooded the Colosseum and they had, somewhat ship battles and stuff. It just looks stupid, especially after the baboons and the fucking rhino. Some things just don't work at the time. It's just not in my brain to click. I don't give two shits about, the period time, what it was. No, I just don't care. Sorry. Oh boy. Not a fun ride. Definitely not a rewatch type thing. Now, again, what do they convey that's pretty well in the script? Well, okay, if you're gonna try and give some credit, the premise of a woman who has special gifts, if you want to call them gifts or curses, and I think there's a line by William Dafoe in the movie. He says something like, "You could have been a princess of Isis, blah blah blah, but in now modern times now," which is pretty cool line, in their modern times. that it's whatever. Anyway, it's conveyed poorly, in my opinion, and developed poorly, but she has gifts and abilities, and in a moment of weakness or despair, type thing, she reaches out and connects with a spirit, and it's Nosferatu, the vampire, and she kind of is attached to him and connected to him throughout the years, because there's like a year thing, and where you find she's now in love with fucking Nicholas Holt's character. I don't even like to look the names. It's one of those movies that you don't give a fuck about, because I'm kind of upset that I watched it and it feels like a waste of time. So, Hutler, whatever the fuck their names are, and there's that connection between her and the vampire that I guess is something good in the movie. There's a moment where they confront each other in dreamland, astral projection, whatever the fuck it is. And I thought it was okay, but fuck with the vampire, his look, his whole thing. Yeah, you want to give the classic biting on the neck here and there, but I don't know if it's for the book or something, whatever. I give no fucks again. It just looks stupid when he bites the chest. And in fucking modern ages, if you're doing any camera work like this, it's portraying a blowjob or something like that. Just doesn't convey the fucking terror, that you would almost immediately bring to mind when a vampire is attacking. And they do one shot, classic. You see in the face of the victim, and he comes from behind, bites his throat, blood shoots out. But when the main shtick is to climb on top of them and bite their chest and suck it just doesn't look right. The vampire does not, like, again, you try to develop this movie in so many ways. Another good thing, okay, this is what I could give it. This movie's about 2 hours long. And at an hour and 35 minutes, hour and 40 minutes, it could have been a good movie for me. Maybe it's the meandering type development you're trying to portray. Do I really need to see gory, stupid stuff to develop a fucking insane character with no plot development that makes me feel connected to the vampire or his goal, which is, what, await his master type thing? That type of character? To the family, the kids, whatever, the main actress, there's a disconnect for me throughout this movie, and I still can't maybe put my finger on it. It's not, I don't know, I don't see it as like terrible movie. It might be one of those, it's not for me, but I would lean towards, this is not a very good movie. It's got a lot of try in it and effort. There you go. A couple of more props here and there. But the confusing beginning, but yeah, okay, so you saw the connection. It's developed at one point in the movie pretty good in that one scene. But you're trying to build up to this major ending that should have really, really hit home and really made you like breathe out and go, oh wow, this really hit me where it was supposed to and stuff, and it just falls flat. It doesn't feel granted, worth it. It feels like setup after setup, trying to put some artistic flair in it, trying to give a mood setting, but just doesn't feel right. The characters don't feel real to me. There's a stupid thing. I know it's gonna be stupid, but when you got your first act, middle act, whatever, third act, if you want to play with the Tarantino timeline, it's not exactly what this movie does, but it's kind of like, oh, it's revealed at certain points, and you find out what's the true connection and things like that. You move it's 2 hours long, and it shouldn't have been. Not with the material that was filmed, not with what they decided to put in this movie. But there's a scene getting towards the end of the movie where William Dafoe, Nicholas Hurt, and finally Aaron Taylor Johnson, maybe. Because he's like all against this bullshit. And he's like, oh, there's a plague in the fucking city. And, yeah, because this is after the fucking Nosferatu makes his way to wherever the fuck it is. And the ship crashes. And, like, you tried to do so many aspects of the movie. And you should have just glossed over them. Kept up the suspense. Kept up the whatever traits that were there for me that fell flat. And kept them more tighter. Anyway, so it's kind of revealed that in the history or whatever the fuck, it is a woman who makes a sacrifice and frees the town, the city, whatever the fuck, from the plague of Dracula or Nosferatu. And when it's kind of revealed with William Dafoe and fucking with Ellen, Depp's character, they decide they're gonna go after Dracula, Nosferatu at night, burn his fucking corpses, stake him through the heart with an iron thing, and she splits off. And you know, it's kind of evident where the movie's going, but these fucking assholes must have timed this or had some weird fucking time loop going on, because whatever their decisions were, they go to where Nosferatu bought the land, he's got his new home. They go to fucking kill him there at night. And by the time they get to the doorway into the place, get ready to do their thing, you know, you got the fucking casket, they're going to burn everything. Nicholas Hoult, the fucking main guy, realizes, oh, William Dafoe, you knew he wasn't going to be here, and that his wife is doing something, and he's going to get his wife. And whatever, William Dafoe's like, no, but this has to be done. We have to do this. You know, it has to be this way. It's the only way. I think there's a line in there somewhere about William Dafoe doesn't believe a stake through the heart is going to work. Okay, so as they start burning these fucking things, Nicholas Hoult starts running back to save his wife. Now, it is intercut with what's really going on with the wife, and it fucking, again, to me, it's just stupid. It doesn't have the weight it's supposed to have, but this Nicholas Hoult guy starts running back, and daylight comes, and he's running. What the fuck happened in 11 hours? Like, whenever they decided, did they decide to do this at 2 a.m, walk to the castle with horses, carriage, whatever the fuck, only had a certain amount of hours left to daylight, started burning, did the thing, had the, oh my god, you know, you knew she wasn't going to be here, I'm going to run back, and I'm going to run, and have this awesome and sarcastic fucking shot of him close up, whatever, he's running in the daylight, and it's coinciding with what the wife is doing, with her using her power, her charm, her enchantment over Nosferatu, her connecting to him, and keeps him there until the sun comes up. Fucking stupid. What was this supposed to be? The moment where I'm all tense and whatever? No, because everything connecting to this is meant nothing to me. So I'm not happy with the performances. I start to be happy with the performance, and it kind of disintegrates in the plot minutia, whatever they have to put him through. And of course, Nicholas Holt's got the plot of the movie. Sum this up real quick. Real early in the movie, young girl, gifts and contorting. Oh, she's good at that. She has a connection, whatever. She reached out to a spirit in a time of need, blah, blah, blah. Years later, she's in love, but that connection is still there. Young Nicholas Hoult, fucking guy, gets told by his boss he has to go to this Transylvania country, whatever the fuck. Count Orlok wants to buy land here and retire, blah, blah, blah. So he goes off, and this is supposed to be part of the movie that, starts to set everything up. And it seems to get what you remember. Look, it's adapting from the book. We've all seen different adaptions. We can fucking bring up lots of fucking remakes, and anyway, it doesn't work for me. His escapades in the fucking castle, the depiction of the fucking Nosferatu, what are they trying to go for? Did you try to blend in the silent movie stuff? Then take all of his fucking lines out. Take all of Nosferatu's lines out. It's meaningless and dribble. It feels boring, especially when, again, you're putting a movie together. And I've said this before, how incredibly insane it is that a movie comes together. Look at all the credits, you know. And I have a friend who's a filmmaker, and just, wow, you know, you got to get your shit together. Things got to come out right. Lightning in a bottle, let's say. But nothing works for me in this movie except for parts of William Dafoe's character and the fucking wife of Aaron Taylor Johnson, Emma Corrin. Those are the characters I connected with. And did I come in with expectations? Maybe this is a, you know, there were times where you're just sick of fucking movies. Vampire movies I got sick of. You know, trying to do too much and TV shows, and you don't have to watch the fucking Vampire Diaries. Like, go fuck off. Oh, I had a girlfriend, man, I watched that stuff. And you even try to give that credit for what it is. You know, any show that can last that long and take to an audience, people like it, fine. I'm sitting back here trying to enjoy this fucking movie, and it just feels like it's a letdown at the letdown. Plot into another side plot and growth of the story and characters. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel proportional to what I expected, maybe, to carry me through to the end of this movie, which was supposed to be epic. You know, you've got this woman's portrayal throughout this movie, and spoilers, she is the only one, blah, 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 that could, you know, destroy Nosferatu and save the plague. And what? One good scene when the sun hits him? And a fucking mustache thing, you know, go just fuck off. I really don't care. I try to put two hats on sometimes, you know. Oh, I like shitty things, and this is fun. I like it. Oh, fuck you. I don't care if you don't like the movie. It's shit. And, you know, objectively, this took a lot of effort, and then, you know, a lot of people did a good job. They put a lot of, you know, whatever into it. I don't want to give this movie that much credit. I'm not sure why movies get me mad at a certain point. I went in with a great expectation, you know, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Was in the mood to watch a vampire movie, which I said a little bit ago, which was sometimes off-putting, you know, they saturate too much this, too much that. You know, everybody says the superhero fucking genre. And it could be something you revisit. So, like, I wasn't in the mood to watch a certain type of movie, and then I watched Underworld, and I was like, oh shit, vampires and werewolves, holy shit. And eventually you're like, okay, but I'm just not in the mood, and it's, you know, it's too saturated. And years later, you might come back and go, I miss Dog Soldiers. What a fucking awesome movie. Blah, 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 blah. And I don't feel I'm going to rewatch this with any amount of joy, any amount of intrigue. I kind of already can foresee, oh, you got to watch the director's cut or fucking extended shit. I can already see it. I don't care. I don't know where this movie will sit. Even my quick wiki thing that I get ready for my podcast, I haven't even looked at the critical response, its box office. This movie just fucking annoys me. It got me to a place I didn't want to be as a viewer. What I'm watching developing on screen, my almost disbelief at how I'm not even intrigued with the vampire connection, and this should be epic at the end. Nah. So, I guess I will say that effort was put in here, performances seemed to be given lots of effort. It just doesn't come together for me. I'm not going to be surprised with a lot of the, responses and stuff. I just don't even think the music really got me and where it should carry you at certain points of the movie, but you're trying to do the fucking story of this woman, her husband, their journey, finding the crazy scientist, madman, William Dafoe, the people in charge, what's going on, the crazy guy who's a link to his master. He's coming. Oh, let's just show him bite a fucking pigeon's head off. Let's get gore. I don't know. I don't get it. And I surely don't want to see a fucking scene where the crazy guy, the Renfield, whatever the fuck you want to call him, is on his side, strapped to a chair, because he knocked himself over, drooling, foaming at the mouth, screaming that he's here, whatever the fuck. And the constable, whatever you want to call him, the policeman, or the fucking caretaker, goes over to him close enough where the guy can bite his fucking throat out. Just fuck off. You can't do things smarter. You can't do it better. Like, there's more than one. The Renfield character, who the fuck he is. Had there other people in the city? Or, he Nosferatu bit, I don't know, made another vampire, whatever the fuck. You don't see that here. Like him making a vampire army type thing. It's too busy doing other bullshit. And even though there's bright spots like Emma Corrin's arc in the fucking movie, which I enjoyed, it's just no weight to it. There's no real fucking... It doesn't feel like the stakes are worth it. This ending should have been so epic. This woman's sacrifice, she realizes what's going on. I think even Nosferatu says something like, you woke me up, or, we have a bond, we're connected. 3 nights I'm going to come to you, bullshit. But that first confrontation, I'm going to give a little credit to, where she's, defiant in that sense. But, spoilers, the realization of her going, oh, I'm going to sacrifice myself, draw him into my spell, and keep him here until the sun comes in, traps him, and burns him to death, and then lay with his rotting corpse as I die, because, yeah, he bit my neck first, but now he's sucking out my juices from my fucking stomach or my fucking chest cavity. And maybe his tongue or his fucking fangs go to the heart. It just didn't look good. And I didn't feel the weight of it. And Nicholas Hoult running back after that fucking stupid stunt, going after the Dracula's fucking coffin. This ending should have been so epic. It should have been the fucking... I don't know. I just don't see the appeal. Wasted effort, maybe, in my opinion. Again, this could be it's not made for me, fine, fuck off. I get it. Look, I'm not even saying it's definitively a bad movie. That sometimes I like, and I tout them and say, look, I had fun with it, I don't care about this, and, oh, let's have a debate about the fucking industry, or how is it good for the, I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, there are times I could carry that type of debate in my head and play that thing like, oh, why you give so much money to a fucking studio? Whatever. Fucking Zack Snyder, bullshit, nonsense, shitty movies. If there's fans out there that want to watch it and you want to watch this fucking DC universe, give them a fucking DC universe. Like, I don't care. But man, this is a little aggravating. It's frustrating. what are the hallmarks for me that make a good movie? What are the subjective or, my personal things with objectively, is there a proper way to make a movie and have the plot, this act one? Can it be turned on its head? Let's do a Quentin Tarantino time linear thing, but you better do it good. And this doesn't have a lot of that, but I get the feeling there were reshoots or different directors' perspectives on what should be going on in the movie and what it meant to the movie's final crescendo. Like, what does it mean at the end of the movie when you're watching this woman sacrifice herself to end this evil? Because guess what? What the fuck is the evil? What is so scary about this fucking guy? What is so, what? It's just, there's nothing there. Why get Bill Skarsgård, who played a great It, by the way? Shitty Crow, fucking horrible movie. But there are no scenes that flesh him out. And it doesn't work well. But the ending's supposed to be so fucking epic, and there's this fucking idiot vampire with a mustache. Fucking stupid. I don't care if I do a deep dive and find out all this shit went into it. Oh, we took a poll. We took pictures. Everybody's like, who cares about the time and place it was in? You're telling a story in 2025. I don't need to see mustaches or chest sucking or whatever the fuck it is. It's just, no. And it should have been fleshed out. His threat should have been way realer. Should have had way more weight. The lead actress should have had way more investment in her, in what her, what her connection was. Instead, you just wanted to do fucking goofy faces and contortions and fever dream type stuff, but it never connected to me in a way that it pulled me in and made me care. Like, I don't give a fuck about the lead actress. Her whole fucking story just wasn't believable to me. And granted, fine, it's not for me. People love it, whatever. Bill Skarsgård, the fucking Nosferatu, worthless. Just what is there for me to really get connected to? What, that he likes to deceive people and trick them and manipulate them? The whole fucking Nicholas Hoult in his castle thing was like, just gloss over this shit. Unless you're gonna make it worthwhile. But it didn't. It didn't use that time to make me fear this monster. What he would become, what he would do. His taking over of this ship was like another fucking movie in here. And it cuts and it crashes to the fucking docks where rats are coming out. Count Orlok has nothing connected with me that made me go, wow, this is carrying me to where it's gonna go, because you know where it's gonna go. The movie's kind of obvious about it. If you know the books and its history, it's obvious about it. This isn't gonna go with the guy staking a vampire to the heart and saving his love. Okay, we get it. William Dafoe's character basically fucking tells you that. And again, it just never feels like it has weight and thickness and enrichment. It feels like this is, just drawn together, maybe from inspiration, fine. And it's historical to the books and, the envisionment of whatever is fucking Bram Stoker, Clive Barker, Wes Craven. Like, I don't care. It's fun to look at behind the scenes and go, yeah, whatever. That's cool. But if I hear that Ridley Scott didn't really want the Queen in the second one, and you're telling me James Cameron's movie is not an amazing fucking one of the best sequels ever, and granted, Alien's one of my favorite movies. It's a great movie. It doesn't hold weight for me because it's just, You put it out there, I absorbed it. This is what I took from it. And this is what this movie did to me. It's not a fucking movie that holds any weight that I care about. I don't even care to watch it. You know what I watched recently? I'm going to do a podcast on it. Late Night with the Devil. I'm going to do a pod. I could watch that numerous times because I'll get to my own podcast on it, but I don't want to watch this again. Like, I have no interest. No interest. I don't want to give too much praise for certain things because I'm just annoyed and frustrated at the end. Yeah, there's a good scene with Johnny Depp's daughter, whatever fucking name is Ellen. There's one good scene. The rest seems trivial bullshit. Connected to more trivial bullshit. William Dafoe, although I love his portrayal, his character, it just doesn't feel like it has the weight it should. There's supposed to be a guy who at one point is told, you know about science and hallucinations. Like, well, that's why I'm telling you it's not that. This is real curse shit. This is real supernatural stuff. And like, okay, so I got another good scene. But when I get to towards the end of this movie and it's just, I'm wondering, this is wasted potential for me. Wasted. I don't care. I don't know what the budget was, what the fucking expectations were. Oh, shit. Nah, I don't see it. There's no way going to be anything. I just don't get it. And, you know. But this is one of those movies that's going to get its praise. Oh, you gotta go fucking see this movie. I don't recommend it. And especially if it's, you know, you're not into the vampire thing. You know, this is not the edgy breakthrough thing I thought it was going to be. But, you know, we're bringing the close adaptation of the critically acclaimed, in a sense, Nosferatu from 1922, a silent fucking movie. You know, based on this, based on that. And there's been more. Throughout the years, there are fun, good, riveting tales about this. This is not going to be one for me. I still can't believe that when I watched this movie and I went and looked, I was almost not going to say how much I hated the lead actress because it just seems too, you know, oh, you're picking on a daughter. Like, I've never seen her in anything. I didn't believe shit. And it hurts Nicholas Hurt's character and the portrayal of his growth throughout the movie because it goes nowhere, in my opinion. There should have been Lily Rose Depp's focused character. You kind of shorted her, in my opinion, because what you did decide to do, what you did decide to take the journey was just, you know, okay, Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, oh, the fucking idiot, good-natured husband who's trying to help his friend and he lets Lily stay there, whatever the fuck. You know, I get it. It's in the fucking thing. I've seen Nosferatu. I watched it recently, by the way. I watched it recently because I wanted to fucking enjoy this movie. And I'm sorry, it doesn't, you know. You got to do something different these days for me, I guess. And I guess I'll end that here with Nosferatu had some good elements in it. But in the end, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't come together. Or I thought it was going to, and it's maybe expectations, that's fine. This is going to be a hard movie for me to go back and rewatch to give it a chance, because I'm going to. I know I'm going to, because that's just the type of person I am. I'm gonna watch Dale and Tucker vs. fucking Evil 15 times to watch the insane goofiness. Am I gonna watch the original Thing from the 50s or whatever to watch John Carpenter's The Thing remake, or The Fly, or so many amazing remakes? And I thought I was setting myself up with this. Oh, I watched the original Nosferatu, silent fucking movie, watching them make these goofy faces, but it's what they had at the time. It's how they had to convey things. Maybe it's the blend of what they tried to carry over, but mistake casting, mistake with the fucking mustache, with the fucking biting of the chest, the setup scenes, the connective tissue doesn't work for me. I feel nothing at the end of this movie, except, oh, wow, that was a cool shot. That's it. And I guess I'll leave that as my last fucking thoughts on this movie. No, I don't recommend this movie, but I can see it being, given its fucking praise here and there. Oh, my favorite movie of the year. I'm looking at it now as I'm pulling down the fucking thing. Because, again, I'm fucking annoyed with this movie. I didn't want to even bother trying to look at, critical response. Because what I usually do, I said this on lots of podcasts, is when I'm done, then I do a deep dive. Like, what did this person think and that person think? They're like-minded people and whatever. And I even go for people I don't even enjoy or don't like. Although I try to stay away from, the shills and the fucking assholes who 2 hours before we're in a fucking room taking pictures with everybody, getting free passes and stuff, so they can go fuck themselves. But, this will be put on people's pedestal and whatever. Just don't care. Didn't hold its appeal to me. And again, this could be expectations. But I will go back and watch it again. I'll wait for this fucking Blu-ray shit. There'll be some fucking extended shit. Maybe they could CG a stupid fucking mustache out of the fucking movie. God, I don't give a fuck. And I don't know, maybe there's a director's cut that, will come out 4 hours fucking long. Or an hour and a half. Which I probably wouldn't be upset with this movie if it wasn't 2 hours long. And to me, filled with bullshit. Nicholas, that fucking scene of him running in the daylight, matching up with, Lily Rose Depp's fucking character and Nosferatu in bed was just fucking stupid. I couldn't fucking believe it. I was supposed to be so invested. This woman's sacrifice, her realization of where she fits in and everything, and what she has to do, was like, okay. And I guess that's it. Nosferatu, 2024, filmed by, I didn't even say the fucking, Robert Eggers. Screenplay by Robert Eggers, based on Nosferatu by Henrik, whatever the fuck. Wow, I can't believe I'm upset. I'm not angry at this. Bill Skarsgård, fucking whatever. Nicholas Hoult was really happy in the beginning when he first came on the screen, and I was like, oh shit, this is the guy. But less than 5-10 minutes later, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why are we portraying this? And whatever. Lily Rose Depp, out of her depth. Aaron Taylor Johnson, serviceable for what he did, for what the character was. Fine. Emma Corrin, Spotlight, really loved her in this fucking movie. Just her presence as this fucking side character chick, I don't know. She, when I looked in her eyes, when I believed she was there. I guess that's another thing you could say in a way. I didn't believe Lily Rose was there in the character. Emma Corrin, totally believed it. Maybe that's the difference in what I like as an actor or an actress, whatever. I just don't fucking get it. William Dafoe, give props, and props to some cool scenes. But that's it. All right. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everybody. I wish the best for you and yours. Take care.